right. Well, it's again, when I sent my message out for this, for those of you that are, saw the message, I'm sure Steve and Kelvin and Jess, and we have a lot of other guests on here from other team members that have invited you on here. So we said it's going to be laid back. We love doing these chats. If you have some issues or something, you definitely comment in the box. I can't see it, but Kelvin and Steve can, so you can interrupt me and let me know if there's a problem going on. But this is definitely being recorded. We're excited about doing this GRN Hangout. Oh, we have somebody popping in on us, it looks like. This is awesome. It's going to take a moment. But anyways, welcome for tonight. I'm really excited about, talking to some great friends here, some people that have just joined here recently. They have great stories. I want to share it with you guys, have them share it with you about the Global Resorts membership and the high-ticket affiliate program that you keep seeing. A little bit about me. I actually joined, my name's Michelle Pesco-Solido, by the way. Hey, Dallas. You covered it up. I joined, let's see, 2012, I think I joined 2010 or 11. I'm really bad. It's been over 2 years, so I'd have to do some math there. But I joined Global Resorts. It was a little bit different back then, but my story was when I got into this industry a little over, well, roughly about 3 years ago, I started in health and wellness industry. I was a stay-at-home mom, looking for a way to make some additional income. I wasn't married yet to my fiance, but I had recently, before I'd met him, gone through a divorce, which landed me as a single mom. And I had to go back to college and, try to get my college degree, thinking that was the answer to, making money to be able to support my family, like most people, do, and the path that they take. And once I graduated with a double degree in psychology and child development, I landed a job working as a therapist for children with autism, earning $10 an hour. Basically, that money right there paid my gas to get to work and paid for my lunch. And I was basically paying them to go to work, and it was very stressful. I remembered that I was just very heartbroken because I was no longer able to stay at home with my children, who were young at that time, like I believe about 4 and 6. And I knew something had to change, so I had gotten into the, into network marketing, fell into it, and, it was struggle. I was listening to my upline. I was so new, wet behind the ears, chasing around my friends and family, and I was working with a guy by the name of Eric Wilkes. I don't know if any of you guys on here know him, but he was in that company with me too, and we had a fallout within the company, and my entire upline left, but pushed me all the way up to him, and we became great friends. And he introduced me to Mark Hoverson, who owns GRN now, and I immediately, just fell in love with his leadership, thought to myself, I want his mentoring. And I remember, and Jess, I know that you can relate to this, we'll get into that in a moment, and I remember him telling me, well, if you want to lock arms with me, and Eric told me he's leaving that company that I was with, it was going to cost $3,000. And man, that was a tough one to try to convince my husband of. I knew it was the right thing to do. He wasn't on board with anything I was doing at that time. He was still working in corporate America, and we were about to get married, and we had a very expensive wedding and honeymoon we had to go on that we were paying for ourselves. And I remember being on that honeymoon, and Eric and Mark were like, look, just do it, just get in. And I went behind my husband's back, got my mother to help me with the payment, and paid for it. And that was where my journey began. With Global Resorts. That very next week, I was making sales, just because of the value of this product. And that's something that we're going to get into in a moment, also. And, for me, I've done some other things along the way, and still doing them. I have other additional sources of income, but I've never let go of this high-ticket affiliate program because it makes so much sense. Many of the sales that I've been making now come in when I wake up in the morning. I've never spoken to a person. I'm not saying this would happen to everybody, but I'll see the commissions in my inbox. And Mark will text me and be like, hey, what's the story behind this one? And I was like, I wish I had a great story. Somebody just saw the value in it. Of all the work I had laid down after those couple of years, people find me online now. But that's not to say that I don't talk belly to belly with people, especially, when I am traveling. And I am staying at one of the resorts, and you're talking to somebody next to you that's paid $7,000 to be there, and you only paid $700 for this product. They are blown away, and they want information, and they see the value of this product. So for those of you that are on here, again, welcome. And if you don't know the value of it, I'm going to show that in a minute. But I want to introduce you to some of my friends here who have been so kind to come out and hang out with us tonight on Google Hangout. Kelvin is here from the UK, so it's very late for him. I'd love to get started with you. I know that you joined GRN a few weeks ago, and you had your very first sale, I think within, I wrote it down here, within a 2 day, or within 10 days, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, why don't you share with everybody that's watching, you know, why you joined, you know, talk about some of the reasons why you like the membership and why you enjoy the opportunity also, and maybe talk about some of your results that, you know, you have had when you started out so quickly.
Okay, well, the reason I joined was twofold. First of all, that as a product, it's a very tangible product you can use and benefit from. And from my point of view, I mean, my last trip to the Caribbean, to the Bahamas, the accommodation cost me just under $8,500. Now, I can now do exactly the same trip. The resort, I would say, is maybe half a mile down the road, so there's no real difference. And I can do it for about $1,400. So even if I wasn't interested in the affiliate program, I'm going to save $7 grand on one trip.
Right.
And this is a $5,000 membership for life. So, you know, it made sense completely from the start. And then I was also looking for another high-ticket affiliate program. That's my preferred niche, if you like. So GRN fitted the bill there as well. You know, $3,250 commission on a product that can save anyone thousands of dollars has to be a complete no-brainer. So my first sale was one of my coaching clients. We were going through the whole situation on internet marketing. He had the usual range of sort of low-end products and nothing of real value that he could promote on the back end. He also has a young family and enjoys traveling. So it was just a perfect fit. I mean, as soon as I mentioned it, we covered in the space of maybe 10 minutes, and he jumped right on board. And I have a couple more people now in similar positions. And again, they need to get a high-ticket affiliate program for the back end of their promotions, and it just fits.
Yeah, let's talk about that a minute. I mean, because that's similar to my situation. You know, I do have some low-end products in the beginning, and now there might be some people on here that are like, wow, well, I don't have any products at all, so why should I start with Global Resorts? I mean, maybe you can come in and talk a little bit about that and give me, give some advice on that.
Okay, let me be really boring just for 5 minutes. Well, let's say you start off like most marketers do online as an affiliate marketer, and you come across this wonderful $25 product. That's cool. Let's say it pays you 100% commissions, and I'm sure we can think of a couple out there at the moment that do that. So you want to make, for argument's sake, $5 grand a month. So to make your $5,000 a month, which is it's a reasonable wage, you need to sell $225 products. Now, to sell $225 products, you need to get 20,000 people looking at your offer. When you've got a $5,000 product that pays $3,250 commissions, you need to sell 1.5, and you will do it with a lot less than 20,000 people looking at it.
Right.
And it's basic, it's simple maths.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love the way you put that. I know Mark talks a lot about, how long does it take you? They ask people, how long does it take you to make, $3,250? Now, we're talking about $3,250. There's also the ability, if you were to sell and you come in at a Platinum Plus, which we can, talk a little bit about, or whoever brought you to this webinar can talk to you more about the different membership levels, but you can make $7,700. Now, I've done that on one Platinum Plus sale. And I'm telling you, there's times in some of the companies that, I don't work in a lot of companies, but an affiliate program I'm in, it takes a lot of work, a lot of email blasting to your list, a lot of Facebook promotions, because I do Facebook marketing, a lot of advertising, and you're exhausted after 2 weeks to make $7,700. So when you can sell one Platinum Plus membership and make that, and you look back and you're like, wow, it only took me literally an hour, or or maybe a 30-minute phone call conversation to do this. That was well worth it. So it's great to add it into your business portfolio is the way I look at it. And I know each one of you do this differently, but I know in our situation, I look at this is our business, and this is part of our portfolio, and there's no reason why you shouldn't have a high-ticket program in there, especially when other things might be running slow, or maybe the days that you don't want to work as hard, or the weeks or the months that you want to take off, and you can just sell a couple of these, and wow,
heck, you can go on vacation 4, 5, 6 weeks a year, and pretty much guarantee you sell one every weekend you were away.
Exactly. So now, Jess, wave so everybody knows. And of course, you're going to speak. I do know you somewhat because we've interacted on Facebook a lot. I don't know you in person, but you joined about 8 days ago. I was really excited when I saw you in there. And you kind of have a similar story, too, about the way you joined. I don't know if you want to discuss that or not, but I want you to talk a little bit about why you joined, the sacrifices you made to actually get in here, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm still in trouble with my hubby, but that's okay. He love him to death. He'll live. But I had also been in the market for a high ticket program because I do recognize that it's bust your buns, and to get $200, I made $250 this week and something else, and I worked my tail off to get it. Yeah. So it always sunk in that why it's all the same process that I would use to attract someone to another affiliate program as it would be to GRN, and so why not have $3,200, in commissions instead of $150, $250? It's just, one measly sale a month, and you're sitting pretty, Yeah. So and as that goes on, it just makes sense.
Well, let's talk about, because you said something to me in an email because I wanted to learn a little bit more about your reasons for joining. Let's talk about the leadership and the mastermind, because I think a lot of people that are on here might be watching. It's like, okay, great, you've got a great product, but I don't know how to market it. I don't know how to sell it. So let's talk about our very elite group that we have on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Why you were attracted. I mean, maybe some of the value that you're seeing, inside of there, or even, the people that you are working with.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of value, and we could all say fabulous things about Mark Hoverson for eons, and that it's his company and his leadership, and that everybody kind of looks out for each other in the group, and you welcome each other. I was welcomed mightily into the group, and it's heartwarming. So, and then to get to go down to Phoenix and hang out with all these faces we see online all the time, and everybody who knows what we're doing, and to have a community that understands the processes or is learning the process is invaluable. Because if I sit here and, as much as I love my hubby, if I just listen to him, then I'm a nut job for doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But then you get to go down and mastermind and learn and hang out with people who get it, and it just will lift you up and help you understand you're not nuts.
Now, is he in the industry also?
No.
Okay. So how long have you been in the industry, like just in general?
About 4.5 years, and I was horrible at it for the first 3.5.
So is he still not on board? He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's a naval officer. So
you can get it. You can get him turned around. All you have to do is say, hey, honey, we're going to Vegas. That's what I did. So
I said, hey, honey, I'm going to Vegas. Enjoy.
No, I was like, hey, honey, we're going to Vegas. And he goes and he meets everybody for the first time, and he was sold.
Right.
He was sold. This is a great industry. And now he's retired from his corporate America job, and we work this entire business together.
Right.
So that's great. That's great. Well, awesome. Well, what about Steve? We got Steve Olson here. He's been in for about 2 weeks. I love your story and the fact that you came in because I don't know if this is the exact reason, but please share with everybody. I mean, you have experience with owning timeshares.
Yeah, that's right. I own 2 timeshares. I really was introduced to GRN with from Adam Holland and Eric Wilkes. I'm fortunate enough to work with both of those guys, and they introduced me to it. And I've owned timeshare. I bought my first timeshare back in, I think it was 2003, and I love the concept. I don't like the dues and the price that timeshares cost, but it gives you a much better vacation experience. That's really what it was all about. Now, my first timeshare that I bought back in 2003, I spent $19,000 for. That was for one week a year, And then I just bought another timeshare down in Mexico a few years ago, and I spent another I think it was $25,000 for that. So the money was never, I'm not rich or anything. I'm like a normal person. I think for most people, I mean, people love vacations, right? They love to go on vacation. And for me, we for many years brought my parents with us. So, if you just go to a typical hotel, I'd have to get 2 rooms, and we'd be separated, so the experience wasn't that nice. But when I get the timeshare, I would have like a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. My mom and dad could have their own place. A lot of them have 2 baths. So the experience of the timeshare is amazing. Now with the GRN, I've only been in about 2 weeks. I haven't made a sale yet, but I'm definitely going to. It's incredible value because you just pay one time and you're in for life. With the one-time share, I'm spending now about $700 a year on that. So I was adding it up, and I spent on top of the $19,000 when I joined, I probably spent another $7,000-8,000 in maintenance fees. So the GRN is really great because it's one time. We have multiple weeks. The value is just incredible. So really, that's what I like about it, and I think it will be an easy sell when you compare it to other timeshares or those type of vacation groups that are out there. It's far superior, and it's also the cruises, the airfare. I mean, the online system is really, really interactive. Going to Vegas, I also booked some shows. They have an area on there for events, so I also booked some shows we're going to see as well. So the product itself is just phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with other people. This will really benefit a lot of people in a lot of ways because it will give them a much better vacation experience, but they also save a heck of a lot of money while doing it. So.
Right. And for those of you, that are wondering, how are we comparing this? This is one of the markets that we see a lot of our members actually will go in and promote to people who do own timeshares. Or, they'll have families that come back from Mexico, family members that'll say, oh, we're thinking about buying this timeshare down in Mexico. And, one of the things that's so great about it, if you do know somebody that's considering a timeshare, probably, most likely, you can go as a member of GRN. You can go in your back office and find that timeshare resort in there a lot of times. And there's people out there, I know we've done a lot of comparisons. And, if you want to look more in detail to this, definitely get back to the person who referred you to this hangout and ask them to maybe show you some comparisons. But we've done comparisons before where, like you said, it's like $19,000 to buy a particular timeshare. But you can own a GRN membership for $5,000 and get access to over 5,000 resorts worldwide, and you get to travel 10 weeks out of the year. You get all those weeks that you can travel. Now, if you own the Platinum Plus, it's 20 weeks, but at the $5,000 level, it's 10 weeks. You don't have maintenance fees like a timeshare would. Sometimes timeshares, and maybe you can help me on this, Steve, don't they have like certain weeks you have to travel or points that you're dealing with? I mean, what are the disadvantages compared to like GRN where you don't have any of those maintenance fees?
Yeah, well, I have points in one, and I have a particular week in another one. And I guess if you want to go to the same place at the same week year after year after year, then it's okay, but most people don't want to do that. So then you've got to take, if you want to use it somewhere else, you got to take that week and put it into like a timeshare brokerage company and sort of trade that week for some other week, and then they rate them at different values. So that's not really, I mean, a lot of people do that, but I was never really that satisfied doing that. And the other one I'm with has a point system, but in that one I find that it's really hard for me to book what I want. It's only in particular resorts. They overbook them, so it's really hard for me to even book places with those points. So a lot of times it's been, I mean, I like when I can book it. It's quite nice, but it's very problematic for me to do it to get bookings through there. So
right.
That's some of the pros and cons with that.
And so, see, that's just one aspect of the market that we can actually go to with this membership, and you can make these kind of sales because it makes so much sense. I mean, I love the fact that I've sold a couple of these memberships to people who are actually in this industry, but they own timeshares, and they've just been blown away by the fact that they'll be like, wait. I paid $30,000 for this place. I can go here for an entire week for $398. This is insane, and I don't have to pay any maintenance fees at the end of the year. I mean, they're blown away by that. I mean, there's resorts in there, there's timeshares. We're not just dealing with timeshares. I don't want people to think that these are just timeshare properties in there, but there's over 5,000 resorts worldwide. If you own the membership and you wanted to transfer it to a family member later on down the road, or maybe you just decided to sell it yourself, I mean, it's $75 to transfer it to somebody else's name. So it's not like you have to be out that money. I get that question asked a lot. What if I don't travel anymore? What if I want to give it to a family member as I get older and I'm not able to travel? It's $75 to transfer it to somebody else's name, which is just to cover the paperwork basically to do that.
It's a 99-year membership, so you can literally pass it to your children and your grandchildren.
Right. And recently, and you guys all know about this, on our honeymoon that we went to this resort in St. Lucia called Calabash Cove. And it costs, if I'm going to compare apples to apples, they were doing an ocean view suite. And if I wanted to book that, and we go there every single year for the past 5 years, so I'm very familiar with the prices, and I actually booked it, and it was right about $3,600 for the entire week to stay in the particular room that GRN was offering. I went and saw on the front page of my GRN membership this exact resort, and it was $799. So that's the maximum that you'll see in your back office for an entire week to stay at that exact resort. Had I have just booked it like we do every single year for $3,600, $3,700, I would have been really mad if I had done that this year. So I was glad that I saw that in our back office for that price. I mean, that is over, a 50% savings. Again, bad with the math if y'all want to throw that one out there. But a lot of people will take their first vacation and realize that $5,000 buy-in price at the platinum level, pays for itself on your very first vacation you take. But that's just the retail side of things, guys. I want to talk, definitely some more about the fact that this is a high-ticket affiliate program. And, I know we've touched a little bit on the commissions. And I want to bring Dallas out here. Can you hear me, Dallas?
Yes, I can.
Oh, there you are. See, I live in Dallas. How cool is that? So you've been in since February, and you've already made a sale. I love that story. I mean, why don't you tell us a little bit about that and tell everybody what attracted you to Global Resorts?
Okay, awesome. Well, Rose Dallas is the name, but I go by
Oh,
Dallas.
sorry.
So that's pretty cool. No, Dallas Rose on Facebook. But what is awesome is about 4 years ago, after 7 years that I've been working from home, I was introduced to high tickets, $1,000 per sale, $4,000 per sale, even $15,000 per sale. So January, I found myself just desiring, if I did anything this year, God, just let it be something that I could make like a whooping $3,250 one time and not trade my efforts for, $25 commissions. Like that could resonate with everyone. So I was on Facebook, as a matter of fact, and just one click, and it led to another click, and it said this kid made $1,000 on Craigslist, and that was a GRN blog I was looking at. And I went from that to Bill, who made $16,000 in 1 month, and I joined, and I was like, hey, Mark, I joined as an affiliate. And I told my husband, he's very supportive, thank God. And, I kept talking, but I came across this travel business, and my husband was like, why are you still talking? And he deposited the money, and I got started. And yes, I had a vision prior to Global Resorts, because I did work in travel. I did sell vacations to people that eventually bought timeshare. And I always have a desire to sell travel, so much so that I wanted to be a travel writer. So this was just the perfect fit, perfect timing, perfect opportunity. And I Googled Mark, and I was just blown away that I didn't even know this person. Like, for 7 years I've been working from home, and then you, Michelle, and I just saw this great love inside the Facebook group. And I really saw an environment where I would be able to utilize the skills that I've developed over the 7 years as far as my marketing, communication skills with people. And, I got into the product. Like Tony Robbins say, you get your product, you get into that product. So I went back there. We just reserved a rent-a-car. My husband came home through the product. I have a sister in the UK that's coming here for the summer. I was able to check prices on the tickets, and it showed you which one was the best possible rate. So that's pretty cool. Heading up to Orlando here next weekend, and we're able to do a short stay like for $95 per night, while other people are paying $130 at the event. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. But like I shared with you, Michelle, my big why is my husband. We're a family of 7, 5 children, 11 to 8 months old. And my husband had to take a driver position because our income kind of went down the last 3 years in the home-based business. So it's been my why and my purpose to bring my hubby home off the road. Today we were calculating, and I'm like, how much would it take for you to like fire your boss? I mean, literally, because nothing becomes dynamic unless it becomes specific. And we got pen to paper. I wrote it up here, and one sale in one day, $3,250 to bring my hubby home in the next 6 months to a year,
Wow.
and replace his income plus pay off for debt. So that's my big why for GRN. And of course, being able to save 90% off Expedia's prices. Just to give you an example, I'm not a skier, but there's millions of people that love skiing. So I did my assignment, and this one resort in Banff, Canada, in our product, it's only like $698, and I went on Expedia, and the same resort, Michelle, for 1 week was like $259 per night. So that to me is awesome value, and I just love being here. I encourage, everybody that was invited by someone to really do your due diligence. And this is not a year to procrastinate and say, is this the opportunity? High ticket is definitely the way to go. You see my 2 thumbs up?
I do.
Yeah.
I love your story.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
we have a couple of
Yeah,
questions,
let's
Michelle.
answer some questions.
Well, first of all, Shannon Hoverson is on the line and says, I'm at a GRM resort right now. So,
Oh,
hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
I think, yeah, they are. I think they've been there a couple of times this year out in San Diego.
And then we have Richard who's asking, let me find this. What are you guys using to advertise GRN and bring prospects to you? That's quite an interesting question.
Yeah, each one of us can kind of cover this. Here's what I love about doing this Google Hangout and having you guys on here to share this with everybody is, some of you are focusing on the fact that let's sell the value of the product. That's awesome. For me, I do the business opportunity, and each one of you can chime in too. I love the aspect of the fact that we can sell this business opportunity, a high-ticket affiliate program, and it's got a nice travel membership to go with it. That's what I focus on. How do I sell it? Now, for me, my story's going to be a little different. Let's go back to when I first started out. It was just about getting the word out to people, talking to the people that were within my circle of influence and showing them the value of this membership. How I ended up building it to start making a lot of sales on automation was just simply writing about it. I did a lot of blog posts, and I went after obviously some of the keywords. I did a lot of videos. I mean, videos are free. It's so easy to do, and you just go out there and you do a video like I just did recently on the savings of the Calabash Cove in St. Lucia, and you just title it St. Lucia, Calabash Cove. I mean, that thing gets found. And when you compare that savings on that video, you get people that are searching for that particular resort because it's a big honeymoon spot. That piques their curiosity. And I've had a lot of people already reach out to me, and I did that video maybe a week or 2 ago. And people are already saying, wow, really? How do I get this membership? How do I save that much money? Because when I looked at it, it was $4,000 to go there. So it's just, again, depending on, if you're brand new or if you happen to be an experienced marketer, there are various different ways that you can actually get this out because the product sells itself. I mean, there's so much value in it. And when you can show a comparison to somebody that's interested, it just makes sense. And then also, when you can do what you did, Kelvin, when you explained, if you have a $25 commission, You know, how many does it take to really make 3250? When you explain that to people, the light bulb comes on and it makes a lot of sense. It's about getting your story down and wrapping your message around it and really delivering it to the people out there. So Kelvin, did you want to answer that also?
Yeah, well, you're exactly right, Michelle. I mean, I did just one post on Cabos and Lucas, and it wasn't particularly price dependent, but GRN was kind of the focus. And that one post has 3 or 4 leads, and 2 of them are on the verge of taking the plunge. In the UK, I'm targeting a group of travel agents because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking at going on, well, a friend of mine's just gone up for Steamboat or going up to Steamboat for spring break. $600 saving over a few days. Now, you don't have to. You don't really have to sell it. If people enjoy travel, whether they're involved in internet marketing or not, it's a very easy sell. If they're in the internet marketing space, they really do need a high-ticket item, and the logic is so simple. And all of my coaching clients are now been exposed to GRN because it's so tangible. And even when their partners aren't supporting them in the IM space, it's a product that has real value for the family.
Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Or do you see any more questions, Calvin or Steve?
Anyone with Empower Network forwards, blog about GRN on the Empower Network.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you're already dealing with an authority ranking blog from what they're saying. I mean, you go out there and your keywords are going to rank a lot easier. Yeah, definitely that's an option. Mark has great training also on, where we've got members out there. We're in a lot of, right now we've got a lot of big leaders coming in, you can see, people that are well known, which is really great. And we don't hold back, we share. And, I've seen some people out there that just focus on targeting the timeshare market. And Mark's got some great training on how to do that and, creating ads to target people that are just looking to rent a timeshare. So there's all different kinds of, masterminds that are going on within the group where people are sharing their different ideas. There's plenty of ideas on how to do this.
But also your marketing is about yourself. I mean, find your ideal, your avatar, your ideal prospect. So if you're a 50-something that enjoys traveling, target 50-somethings that enjoy traveling.
Exactly.
If you're a 27-year-old snowboarder, go target the skiers and snowboarders.
Yes. I love it. So does anybody else have any more questions out there? We definitely want to make sure that we, answer those for you.
Between putting this out to my list and Facebook, the free, my tactics, I had built my list over time, but I've had more response from Facebook just in chit chat or like tonight, and doing a Facebook event for this webinar. And that's totally free.
Right.
And again, I've written about it and I've got videos that are going to get posted, all free tactics. And all will work, especially with the geo-targeting like you were talking about for St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can go and say Vancouver or pick a place. And geo-targeting is actually a really good method to use because people are going to go visit and it'll pop up.
Okay,
and it's free.
Anyone using leads from a lead company? Well,
I am.
You are.
Yes. That's how I got my first sale.
You did. Why don't you share that story? That's great.
Yes. These leads were actually this February 1-year-old.
Wow.
Yes. But at the time of purchase, they were good quality. But I believe a lead is a lead if you speak to the person and kind of like interview them, not so much sell them, but to see if this is really a fit for them, but what are their goals, their dreams, and their desires. So that was a business opportunity lead. Right now, I've been voice broadcasting for 4 years. I do that very successfully. So what I did, I outsourced my calling here locally in the Treasure Coast area of Florida. And I actually, what I did, this is not a secret, I placed an ad on Craigslist when I got started, and turned out a gentleman answered. He could be on here, Al, and he does my calling, and he used to be a manager selling timeshare on vacation.
Nice.
So he is doing my callbacks, and I pretty much do the campaign management from my desktop, which is set up the voice broadcasting, the leads, do a live transfer. And these leads are age leads, they're not brand spanking new, but we have a great opportunity, and we also have a great product slash service that we know are going to benefit a lot of people. So it's really, I think, your posture and how you're coming across to that individual.
I agree, and a lot of times also we obviously hear people. The way you were brought here was probably through somebody that invited you to this webinar. And here is, I'm up here, doing this. We've got our friends on here doing this also and this is a way that we broadcast this out to everybody to plug them in here. And we always refer them back to the person who brought them here. We have several other leaders that'll do just webinars where they'll actually go in and show the screen and show the resort comparisons and then show the value of, the business opportunity, the kind of commissions you can make, and we can always, count on the fact that they will always refer them back. So that's another great thing is you can leverage the team here.
This is a really good question,
Okay.
Midori. How long does it take to get your commissions? Well, let me tell you, I had the money in my bank within 10 days of making the sale.
Yeah, I had mine within a week. I just made one last week, and I just got paid on it yesterday.
Yeah, well, for me, it comes to the UK, so I think there's a couple of days extra there. So within 10 days of making a sale, cash in the bank, ready to spend. And I have to say, thanks to Mr. Hobison and his crew, because I've never seen an affiliate program that is this professional in terms of its back end and the payments.
Definitely.
Right. Any other questions?
Do you lead with GRN or a smaller offer up front?
Anybody want to answer that?
You could do it both ways.
I leave
Yeah.
with GRN.
Yeah.
Depends, I think, on who you're targeting. Yeah.
I think that's important too. Yeah, what is your audience? You have to consider what your audience is. A lot of times, for me, we've built our brand online. Not everybody does it the way we do it. They may do more direct marketing. For us, we do it through attraction marketing. So a lot of times, it's about, like Rose was saying, asking questions. Finding out what their need is and what their pain is, and then figuring out how to solve that solution or solve their pain or their problems with a solution that we have to offer. Now, I think everybody should have a high-ticket affiliate program within their business portfolio. It just makes sense. So, if somebody can't do it right away, obviously, we work our way up to it. But everybody's going to be different on it.
And the beautiful thing, Michelle, there are no secrets. That Facebook group is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Vincent did the webinar, and about midnight we were chatting. And I thought that was pretty cool. Just somebody dedicating that hour of their time to speak any life into your situation. I think that was very awesome. So there's a great support system here if you are willing to earn, the high ticket income that is here.
Couple more questions. Will we have these hangouts weekly? I know there's webinars going on every week, whether there's a hangout or not.
I was actually going to try to show my screen, but I can't make it happen for some reason. I was going to show that resort comparison. So if you guys really have more questions about the product, definitely get back with the person who brought you here, and they can show you some of those comparisons, because I can't get it to work for some reason, and I'm one of those people that would probably crash the whole webinar or the Google Hangout. I did it last week. But yeah, we're pretty much wrapped up here. If you guys, I want to answer any questions, so please, anybody who has more questions, ask them. We have a big event coming up at the end of this month. I know Mark put it together last minute. They're in Tempe, Arizona. It's called the $100,000 Mastermind. You got to get there. It would be awesome if you could get there. Get your GRN membership. Get started with us. Hopefully we're able to give you've got some value out of this, and you understand the importance from everybody that's on here. You heard their stories. They're all pretty much got in for different reasons, but yet still the same reason, the high ticket affiliate program. Great stories. I hope that they resonated with you, and we would love to have you guys all on the team and working with us. Do you see Calvin?
Yeah, here's an interesting one. Do you offer any special deals when people purchase from you?
You know,
Okay.
each leader is very different on that. Calvin, did
Yeah.
you want to say something?
I was going to say pretty much the same thing. It's down to the individual. Obviously, is a good commission, so you have the option to offer. Yeah, maybe you're going to pay for their first hop week.
Yeah.
Maybe
Obviously,
you're
we
gonna-
can't give cash back. That's against the guidelines. But there are some leaders that will, like you say, they might just give you an incentive to, hey, I'll pay for your first hot week. Or, there's been some out there that have offered, to send them a Kindle Fire or, an iPad or something along those lines.
Right, the bottom line is it's a hell of a deal anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
It is. All right. Anything else?
No, I think we're clear on the questions.
Steve, do you have any final words that you want to add? We'll kind of go across the bottom and.
Well, just I think I explained the value. For me, it's something that will benefit really any family. They'll get a much better vacation experience, and the value of it is phenomenal from a business standpoint. I like it because I can focus on a few sales a month versus a ton of them. So really one sale a week, and I'd be sitting pretty good for myself. So that's another aspect of it that I really like.
Yeah, and for me, since I'm next to you, Steve, I guess you guys are seeing it that way. I think we're coming into an era of where people are really understanding the need and the value of having a high-ticket affiliate program. I'm seeing it more and more every single day, and for me, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's changed. It was one of our first programs we started out with. It's something that really kick-started our business. We've been able to build multiple six-figure businesses online, and being able to, generate these kind of commissions now, really puts things into perspective, when it comes to, like Calvin was saying, working your tail off for these little $25 commissions. Not that I'm knocking any of that. I know there's people out there that knock MLM or network marketing. I'm not knocking that at all because we're in it also. We have it in our portfolio. But it's nice to have this opportunity in your business to where you can wake up maybe one morning, you get a phone call, and boom, you've made the sale, and for the day, you've made $3,250. I mean, just like that, and you've shared the vision, you've shared the value of a product, and you've made someone very happy. Calvin, any final words?
Yeah, just couldn't agree more. I mean, if you're looking for a high-ticket affiliate program, if you're involved in the internet marketing world, you really need one. This is the best one I know of at the price.
Yeah. Go ahead, your turn, Jess.
I was thinking about it, and to have the experiences with my kids, to be able to take them and travel around, especially as a Navy family, I've seen that they seem to adjust better to different situations because we've been all over the place. But then to get to go do that for my children and experience and allow their people skills to increase because they've had all these experiences in different parts of the country or the world. And it's just fabulous to have that time with them and give that to them to help prepare them to get out of the house.
I love that. I have to add something to that because we just started homeschooling our children.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we did that is because we travel so much that we couldn't take them with us because they were in school and I couldn't pull them out of school. So this makes it, one, I mean, we can by homeschooling, we can travel with them more. Number two, we're able to now just get up and go take a vacation. Say next week, let's just get down to Barbados. Let's look in our back office. All right, girls, let's go. We're able to just book it like that. It's affordable. It gives us an opportunity to take vacations. And a lot of people out there, it gives them the opportunity to take vacations that maybe they were not able to take in the past.
Right.
And it's affordable. Oh, and we've got a rock star that just came on. But let's have Rose.
Hey, Vincent.
And then we'll have Vincent. Okay, we'll just go ahead and Rose, go ahead and comment, and then we'll let Vincent take it away some too.
But yeah, I do homeschool my son, and I was reflecting on that, Michelle, that I could take a vacation every 10 weeks. But my first grader I put back in school, and I said, see, now mommy's going to be traveling a lot, I told you. But this isn't really about me tonight, guys. It's really about you. You came because, you got an email, you got an invitation, you maybe received a phone call. It's all about you. We're here because of you, and we really want you to see the opportunity here. And we're definitely not selling you. It's a real community,
Yeah.
real people, real families. And like I share with you, my vision is to retire my hobby. And do I believe that is possible with Global Resource Network? Definitely. You touched on the event in Arizona. Guys, definitely get to the event. I've seen it in the industry. When people get to the event, something magical happens. So don't wonder, don't if but maybe, just make it happen. Create the money, join Global Resource Network, create that income for yourself and your loved ones this year. So
Yes.
that's really my purpose.
And the man, Vincent Ortega.
What's up? What's up?
You have got to share your story. We were just about to get off, and now you're here, but you have such a great story because when you joined, you just pretty much took off, was on fire, and you still are on fire. And I would love for you to share why you joined, why it made sense to you, and what you love about it.
Rock and roll. This is cool. Is this something new? Like,
It is.
you are a rock star. Look at
I'm
you.
like a beta tester.
Wow. Well, I could talk for like 5 hours. You guys know how that is. But my quick backstory, I guess, is I was just grinding online for the last 3 years and just, making decent money and all that. And met up with Hoverson, obviously the co-owner of GRN, and, he just took me under his wing and I went crazy. I think one of those things about GRN is it's one of those products where it's hard to grasp the value of it until you're in it and you really feel the power of it and know what you can actually do now once you have the product. It's like, oh my gosh, I could really travel the world now, for so cheap. And then when you start making the commissions, I mean, you freak out. Like I told everybody when I first I made like 2 platinums in one day. And I actually did that yesterday, but I already had the experience. But I still was. Don't get me wrong, that's some good money. But the first time you start making, even when you make $1,000 commissions on people, you just like in this company, that their vision just expanded like that. And I was telling Hoverson when I was make that commissions, I was running around my room, my heart was pounding. I was like, this is crazy, because I've only been used to making like $37 a person, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just like when people say that a company can change your life, there's really no more of a company that I've ever thought of than GRN. I mean, it's just one of those companies where you get in, the culture's amazing for one, and then just to know what you can actually do with a company and the lifestyle that you can start to live. I mean, the reason why I'm in the house that I'm in and the vision that I have is because of this company. I never really thought that it was possible where you could make that much money so fast and then literally change your whole entire mindset on life. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. So I'll go on forever and ever, but that's the quick and easy story. I mean, you gotta essentially just go after it. I always tell people, nobody's gonna have the money, quote unquote, to get in and do it, but you have to have that story so you can actually do it as well when people come to you. And it's just one of those things, when you get pressure and you start to feel that in your life, you'll start to be surprised on how you react and act, and you'll be impressed by yourself when you start to go out there and really kind of go after your dreams. So I love GRN. I love it. That's all there is to it.
We're excited to have you. I know when I saw you come on board, I was excited to see that. That's what I said earlier. There's a lot of leaders that are coming in. I mean, there's definitely some momentum going on here. And, it's funny when you say stories. I think Mark used the story to Jess about how I went behind my husband's back to get into Global Resorts. And he told me, or you told me he said that, and I was like, all right, Mark owes me. He owes me like fine. Not a commission on that. And he left my story. I get something.
Yeah, you got to have that story. That's what I tell people. I mean, it's all about the story. It's all about people wanting to share in the experience of what you have, So, the fact of being scared to jump in. Have you guys talked about going to the event and all that, I'm sure?
A little bit. I mean, feel free to add in on that.
Oh, I just like events I think that's really what the turning point was in my life, is going to that top 25 mastermind that I won at Jonathan Budd's house. And, I didn't even get it, until I got hanging around people that thought differently. You know, and that's kind of what the big thing was for me. When I started hanging around Mark and I kind of just heard him speak, it was unlike anybody I've ever been around. His mindset was so beyond anybody that I've ever been around, and I just couldn't believe the way he actually talked. And I just kind of embodied it, and you know, it's just wild. So just being at events, I think, makes a huge difference. It makes a huge shift in your entire business. You know, and
Right.
the fact that there was like no way that I could have bought into that. I had to grind and work my butt off for 2 years to get there to be like that. If I could have paid $5,000, I would have paid $20,000, $30,000. You know what I mean, to be in an event with Hoverson. So for people that want to actually, you know, go from, I don't know, just being, I think that you could be lost on the internet space. You know what I mean? There's just so much going on right now, and to actually be able to get into one little circle and actually find a leader like Hoverson to, you know, take you to the next level,
Yeah.
that event is going to be so huge. That's why I've been so passionate about sharing that with people. You know what I mean?
And that's my story. You know, I talked about when I had partnered up with him and I made some sales in the first week, and Hoverson was like, all right, this girl might have something going on. You know, and that's when I really started locking arms with him. And you're right. I think we live sometimes in this little bubble where we don't see the potential, the kind of income that can be made. I remember when I started, I thought when I first started out, just replacing my little $10 an hour job was enough. You know, I thought that's all I want to do. I just want to make a couple of thousand a month, you know. And then I started realizing, whoa, you know, when Hoverson, you know, mentored me, he's like, you know, let's push you. Let's get you to $10,000 a month. And I remember when I finally got there and saw, I'm going to say it was easy. It was easy to get to that $10,000 point. I just didn't have the mindset at that time. I didn't have the vision. I didn't open it up to see that it was even possible. And once I got there, I was like, wow, all right, I'm ready to get to 20. You know, and that was a difficult jump, you know, to go from the 10 to the 20, but it's when you realize the kind of income that can be made in this industry, and you hang around, like Vincent, you were saying, hang around the right people that can show you that vision and show you that it's possible and give you the blueprint and just share with you the proper mindset of it, it will change your life. It will change your business. It'll change the world around you, and you will be able to accomplish anything that you set your mind to. And that's, you know, what had happened to me along this whole journey that we're still on. You know, and then just hanging out, like you said, with guys like that, you know, I remember learning one time that Jonathan Bowe was making, this was back a year or two ago, $400,000 a month. I mean, who knows what he's at now? It's like, really? People make that kind of money, you know? But it just opens up so much for you in your mind that gives you, you know, it inspires you. It inspired me, and it gave me a lot of hope. And I knew, you know, I got to get a high ticket affiliate program. I got to lock arms with the people in this company, and we got to run. We got to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about that vision and being around people with the bigger vision. And I think that's what's cool about GRN is if people invest this kind of money, you're going to hang around with a different type of person. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of this. It goes back to that circle about who you hang with is what you're going to become. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the GRN group is so cool. That's why I love it, being a part of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I can't imagine how fun it's going to be going down to Arizona, though.
All right, I'm going. I'll be there.
I'm excited. You skipped on Danny Johnson for that, didn't you? Is that what you said?
I did. Actually,
man.
I think she happened to be the weekend before, but I'm still skipping on it so I can go.
That's right. That's right. That's family right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I haven't been in a while. I need some Hoverson.
Yeah.
I always call him when I need to get the mind straight or something. He just always makes it so clear.
There you go. He is. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, yeah, so those of you, if there's no more questions on there, you know, definitely get back to the person who brought you here so we can answer any other questions that you might have, because I know we couldn't just cover everything. You know, hope you enjoyed this. Steve, Calvin, do y'all see anything else in there in the chat?
No, we're all good there.
All right, super. Any closing words, or are you guys all good?
Get in and join us in Arizona, peeps.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come
Get
on.
in whether you go to Arizona or not. Yeah,
All
one of these a
right.
week. One of these a week is 160 grand a year.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
you go.
But I will, this will be recorded. For those of you that want to rewatch the recording, I will get it out to everybody in our group, and they can pass it out to the people who they invited to this group also, if you need to rewatch everything that's going on here. And I've had a lot of fun. I think we should continue doing this, definitely.
Yeah, I love this. This is cool. I like how people can chat right there. That's
I know.
like, that is the bomb.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll keep y'all posted on this platform when it finally comes out.
Mhm.
Cool.
I'll be ready. I'm waiting.
All right. All right. Great, guys. Thank you so much for coming out, and all you
Thank
that
y'all.
appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Hey,
Michelle.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Adios.
Good.
Bye.